Well, the counterfeit industry is big business, estimated to be worth a staggering $461 billion globally. It's predicted the trend in counterfeiting will continue to increase during the next 10 years, and governments and businesses are looking to challenge the threats posed by fake goods. But some critics believe Canada is already losing the battle. Joining me to discuss this is lawyer and founder of the Canadian Anti-Counterfeit Network, Lorne Lipkus. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Ben.
All right, so how bad is it here in Canada?
Well, it's pretty bad. We are having problems with products coming in from other countries through our borders. We have new legislation at the border that unfortunately doesn't seem to be being used very much, and we find counterfeit in just about every major city, in stores, flea markets, in warehouses. It's all over.
Well, let's take a look. In 2012, the retail value of counterfeit seizures reached $38 million, and that's up from $7.5 million in 2005. So it doesn't seem like we're getting a grip on this thing, despite legislation. And do we have any resources any other resources we're bringing to bear on this problem besides legislation?
Well, right now you have many brands, and we all know the well-known brands. They're spending millions upon millions of dollars trying to go at this on a civil basis, suing people in court, serving cease and desist letters. Unfortunately, this isn't a high priority for police or for customs officers in Canada. For whatever reason, our government is just not pushing this as a priority.
How much, I mean, is there a direct link between the amount of money that is seized and the amount of money lost in our economy because of this counterfeiting?
Well, people have tried to do studies, but because the counterfeiters don't exactly keep records, we don't exactly know how much money they're making. But they're likely making more money than the real companies because they're not paying for the quality necessary for the product. We know that they're not paying taxes for the most part. We know that they're making many billions of dollars worldwide just based upon the numbers that you see of amount of product that there is.
Well, you keep referencing product, but give me a sense of the types of things that are being counterfeited that Canadians might be purchasing.
Anything and everything. There are no exceptions. In fact, I even hear now someone said we have fake news, but I'm not going to go there. But just in Toronto, we've had counterfeit contact lenses, toothbrushes, toothpaste, health and beauty aids, makeup, toys, novelty games, electronics that you put on the wall.
What would be the impetus for somebody to buy some counterfeited medication? You would think that you would, for your health's sake, you would want to buy the actual thing. People
aren't being careful. Yeah. Someone died on Vancouver Island from ingesting counterfeit pharmaceuticals, counterfeit prescription drugs. They ingested them and they died. We've had people dying from buying counterfeit extension cords, counterfeit chargers for Game Boys. A little boy died. People are dying because they don't know and they're not being careful. And unfortunately, there's not enough public information out there for the public to know exactly what to be careful of.
Okay, so it seems to me what you're saying is we need an awareness campaign.
Absolutely.
What else is being done? Talk to me about the legislation that's on the books and how we could improve it.
Well, the legislation says that a customs officer, if they spot counterfeit product, can detain it. They detain it for a very short period of time, a few days, and they contact the rights holder, the brand, who has filed a document called a request for assistance. About as of yesterday, I think 174 brands have filed these documents. As of yesterday, there's been less than 3 dozen in 2.5 years detentions by customs.
My last question is there any country in the world that is doing it well? Is there any model out there that we as a country could replicate?
We could copy what they're doing in the EU. We could copy what they're doing in the United States. We could copy what they're doing in China.
China,
who is responsible for much of the counterfeit. But if you take a look at some of their laws, they're much more aggressive than what we are in Canada, Australia. You could pick almost any country in the world, and their laws seem to be stronger than ours.
Well, I hate to end on a disheartening note, but there we are. A lot of work to be done on this file. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.